we will have contestant number 6. You may proceed.
May I please the court, Your Honor? Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I'm contestant number 6, and I'm here representing the state. Now, the defense would like to tell the story of a Good Samaritan act just gone wrong. But in actuality, this is a classic case of predator versus prey. You are here today to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of grand theft. Now, I know this burden seems high, but in actuality, once you hear the evidence, I feel that you'll have an easy time finding the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, there's only six elements of this crime. 1, the defendant stole money from Ms. Gray. 2, he took it without her consent, and he knew he was not entitled to that money. The next element is the amount of money. Here, Ms. Gray is missing $2,000. For grand theft, you only have to take $1,000. The last element here is that the defendant took the money away and had no intentions of bringing the money back. This all started on June 2nd, 2023. Ms. Gray was just walking around her home when she discovered that $2,000 was missing out of her bedroom. She immediately called the investigators and they got to work. Predator versus prey. On June 1st, the defendant walked up to Ms. Gray and told her about her own garage and the fuse box in the garage and said, "I smell a smoking smell." He guaranteed that he was an employee of AAA Electrician. Turns out, that company doesn't even exist. He convinced her that if he does not fix it, she will face a fine. Who knows if that's even true or not? Predator versus prey. The defendant would testify that he's seen Mrs. Gray in the neighborhood before. And every time he sees her, she looks confused. He will also testify that he was only trying to help, yet he told her that he was an employee. But then in his affidavit, he's going to testify that he was laid off 3 months ago. But the investigator is going to find the company does not exist. Predator versus prey. Let's move on. So then, after she agrees to have him fix it, he fixes it. The investigator will testify there was no fixing. Predator versus prey. After he worked on the fuse box, they both went inside the house, where she fixed him a nice cup of sweet tea, which he claims it was too sweet to drink. Yet, he's also going to testify that he was never in the house. Predator versus prey. And while she was reaching for the money to pay him money for work he never fixed, he became out of her eyesight. He thanked her, she thanked him, he thanked her for the payment, and he went about his business. Until the next day, she noticed that $2,000 was missing out of her bedroom. And she knows that she was the only one in that home besides the defendant. Money just don't grow legs and walk out the place, okay? The defendant knew that Miss Gray was a vulnerable elderly person who lived alone. And what he planned to do was to trick her and deceive her into thinking that he wanted to do work, went inside her home, and took the $2,000. This was not a Good Samaritan act. This was planned. Predator versus prey. And I ask you today, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Thank you.